Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Killian, Coriander, and special guest returning back with us, my man Gorephobe. How's it going, you guys? How's it going?
Good.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we are, guys. We're at the end of the trilogy, talking about House by the Cemetery from the great Lucio Fulci. And what we're going to do is first just see who we have in the chat, and then we'll get right into this thing. Let's see. We have got Patrick's in the chat saying we're still lost trying to explain the Beyond's weird ending.
Keep trying.
Right. Too funny. We got Drake in the chat saying, most true, the Beyond had the weirdest ending probably in the history of movies. It's a good point.
Interesting.
Patrick says, it really is quite the most puzzling ending and undeserving fate for the two leads. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's kind
Yeah.
of funny y'all is saying that about the ending to the Beyond, because to me, Beyond had the most, ending that you could understand. You kind of got what happened. They ended up like in a gateway to hell. So for me, that one was an easy one to figure out. The other two, that's questionable.
Good point. All right, we got Mr. Dan in the chat saying my favorite horror movie character is Bob.
Bob.
Right? Can I just say also about Bob? He is like the prettiest boy I have seen. Let me tell you. I just thought, yeah, he was like great.
Right?
Grow that hair out a little bit longer, yeah, you'd really have it.
Yes. We got Hellbound in the chat. What's going on, man? Saying, hey, what's going on? And we got Neon Black, my man Neil, in the chat saying, hey guys, what's going on? What's going on?
Got a special gift here for Coriander.
Nice. Howling, yeah. That's a good shirt.
Good one, Gore. We got Kwasi Kwando saying, hello, Nightwatch, and Nurse Corey and Killian. Let's get ready to be possessed. All right. All right. So let's get this thing going, man. Let's just talk about high points, story points. You guys know how we do this. We'll start with you, Killian, then Coriander, and then Gore. So we'll start with you, Kill.
Well, it's funny, and I am the newbie to these films.
Yes, first time you've seen it.
Yeah, this one was a little bit more straightforward in some respects. I mean, essentially, it's the haunted house film. You know, it's Amityville, it's The Shining. You know, it's a place where there's evil energy, and instead of the harbinger being an old man or an old lady, it's a little girl who likes to play with Bob. And look, and I'll just take
Bob.
Yeah, she is, and I'll just take a sidetrack here. If your kid comes home with a creepy porcelain doll missing a leg, don't just keep it in the house. You should ask your child. Coriander, you're a mom. Ask your child, where the hell did you get that from?
Yeah,
and
that
give it
doll
to me.
wouldn't be coming into my house. So
Yeah, and give me this so I can put this in the garbage immediately. Okay.
It was a sweet doll.
Right, it was. You're right, Gore. It was. Neon Black says, great shirt, Gore. Great shirt. All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Drake says, yes, Killian, just done better than most. All right. So Coriander, let's go to you. What were you thinking about the movie as we started out, or any high points you want to throw up?
I like how this movie is different from the other two. It gets away from like the dreamish thematics, and it's not as violent as the other two, but the gore is still, really good.
Very good point. Very good point. How about you, Gore?
This was actually known to have the less gore video. There's actually only four kills in the whole movie, if you count them out. The really gory scene is when the realtor gets screwed up. But that's really the most gore. That's really the most Fulci type gore. To me, this one's my favorite. Except for the voice on Bob. That guy, as a matter of fact, I was checking out some facts, and that guy actually has caught a lot of flack over the years. He still apologizes for that. Whereas that's not my voice.
Right.
The voice was a kid named, check out my facts here, named Lyle Stetler. And if you see the Italian version, it's a different voice dubbed over altogether. But this one's my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because the dubbing for Bob obviously gave him a lot of negative attention, but it's not his voice, so it's like it's too bad. But that's what happens. But to me, this one, I agree with you, Coriander. This one was the most straightforward in a way and less fantastical, I guess is the word. And starting out, the same old thing. You got the wonderful Catriona, who is married to a doctor. And they're coming to this house to stay at this house. And of course, it is by the cemetery. And shit is going to happen. And I loved the setting of the house. I loved just the little creepy things, a lot of little creepy things that were happening here and there. And it really,
the visuals was incredible.
Yeah, it really set the mood. And anytime you have, I think Killian has said this before, anytime you have a creepy kid going on, and not that she was creepy, but just some of these moments were just like, oh, wait a minute now, So I thought it had a lot of great atmosphere to it. And when it got to the kills, you definitely got some gore going on. But Kill, let's break it down into a few different categories that I wanted to kind of think about. What did you think of some of the other characters in the movie, other than Bob and the young lady? Like when we talk about Catriona or the doctor, or
Well, it's funny, and this, it just could be a Fulci thing. He has a thing for hiring pretty actresses. Like every actress in these movies looks like a model, and like the character, I think her name was Anne.
Yep.
In here, who's the creepy babysitter that barely talks.
She
and
is freaking creepy.
Right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You would not be my employee for very long if the mother is like talking to her.
You got that right.
So, how are you doing today? And she just was like, or it's just like, all right,
it's so funny.
Bitch, you're up to something with those eyes. I don't trust you.
Yeah, she was.
But no. I guess what I definitely enjoyed the cast, and you kind of went away from the cliche of the male kind of semi-lead not believing the female, and hey, there's no one crucified in this room.
Right.
You have the father character here who's picking up research work from his predecessor and so forth. And of course, they have to go to the creepy house that is right next to a creepy cemetery. Like, all right, really? Like, even the realtor was like, "So you have been to the house, right? It's creepy as hell, right? Oh no, we haven't. Oh, okay. Here's the keys. Have fun." And then, of course, my favorite character was my man Bob. Bob was just in it, and he wasn't your typical, I guess, dumb kid. He was just kind of just there playing with his ghost friend, who's trying to tell him,
sweet and innocent.
And this ghost friend is like, "Bob, please, I'm telling you, don't go back in the house." And Bob's like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to go in real quick just to show my face. Don't worry, I'll meet you back by the oak tree." And she's just like, "Damn it, man."
All right, man. Real quick in the chat. Let's see. Neon Blood was saying, Ania Pieroni has my vote for the sexiest and creepiest babysitter ever. Fitting nanny for Bob's creepy ass.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we got David's in the chat saying, "Hey, Night Watch Zone. I haven't seen this movie, so I won't be able to contribute much. Just wanted to show some support for my favorite movie reviewers." Oh, thanks, man. We really appreciate that. We really, really do. Seriously, man. That means a lot. Probably more than you'd ever know. So we appreciate that. And thank you for joining us. Or stopping by, I should say. Hellbound's in the chat saying, "The only way I can watch this film is with the Italian dub. Bob's English voice actor is too annoying." There you go, man.
Poor Bob.
Bob.
I know.
Let's see. Dan says, "I should rewatch with subs." Yeah, hey, I did.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I think that's about it. Oh, okay, here we go. Hellbound was saying, why does Anne clean up the blood without saying anything? I never understood that part. So strange.
I was gonna mention that too.
Good
and the mother didn't say anything
it's not
either.
even happening. Yeah,
right.
That's what we're talking about. Is how fucking Lucy, right, didn't say a goddamn thing when friggin' creepy ass sitter is cleaning up the blood. You know, it's like,
is that a puddle of blood? Is that a puddle of blood you're cleaning from the kitchen? No, it's not. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What did you think of that scene, Gore?
I really didn't know. I was watching it earlier, and I actually got quite a laugh out of it because I think the whole point of it is it's definitely a plot hole, but I think the whole point of it was to throw you off to think that Anne has something to do with it. I think that was the whole point. I just don't think that it was quite thought through. I kind of lied to myself. I kind of lied to myself and made it to where she was just had it cleaned up just enough to where Catriona didn't notice it was blood. So I was kind of in denial a little bit on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought to myself it might have been that too, where it just wasn't totally thought out.
It was that morning haze. You're just waking up and you're not quite with it. You know, could be ketchup. So I'm not going to ask.
Maybe it's just cranberry juice.
Right.
But you know, but like you said, Gore, when we were talking about City of the Living Dead, with all three of these movies, again, like, and you said it perfectly, man. You said, you know, you're not really worried about the why. You know, you're really just trying to enjoy the what. You know, just kind of take it for what it is. Let it wash over you, and it's so friggin' true, man. It really, really is.
That's the Gore side of Italian horror. That's the Gore side of it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of that kill, we're going to talk a little bit about the gore and the death scenes and such. Was there any one of them that stood out to you for any particular reason, whether it was done really well to you or not done as well as some of the other things in the trilogy?
Well, you know, I did miss the back of heads being like pulled out. There was none of that this time. But I think it was probably the realtor death with the stabbing. Like, you know, I'm gonna stab you here. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm gonna stab you here, and then let me just get some of that neck action. And let's zoom in on that, and you know, for a few seconds, so you can actually see all the good fruit juice coming out of her neck. So yeah, I would say that one. But a lot of palms to the face, a lot of palms to the neck in this one.
Yes.
And I agree with Gorophobe. This one definitely didn't have as much gore as the previous movies, but then again, they kind of kept the cast smaller in this one. So, you know, but yeah,
absolutely. How about you, Coriander? Was there any gore scenes or kill scenes that stood out to you for any reason, or was it just kind of run of the mill for you in this movie versus the other two in the trilogy?
You know, the scene that Killian just described is probably like one of the best ones out of the whole movie, definitely. And this definitely didn't have the gore like the other two, but what it did have, it was, you know, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. In the chat, before I get to you, Gore, in the chat, Patrick was saying maybe Anne got lost in the Beyond Room. What Patrick?
That's where it came from, the Beyond Room.
Yeah. He says, I need to get this trilogy. Absolutely. I agree. I agree with that. Dan was saying Fulci loved some creepy, pretty eyes. Yeah, absolutely. David was saying from the screen grab, she looks a little bit out of it. Yeah, she really did, especially in that scene when she's cleaning up the blood, man. We got John Steele in the chat too. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing? Hey. Drake says, listen, Knight, I want that Carrie poster, my dude. It's good, man. I got it from allposters.com, man. It's really good. We got the Wolfman in the chat. What's up, man? Saying, hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hope y'all having a wonderful day. Love this movie. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So, Gore, well, actually, I'll ask you, too. Were there any kills that stood out to you or any gore scenes?
Actually, it was probably the least goriest of the movie, but the very first kill with the knife through the back of the head and out the mouth, that was fantastic. That's what horrored me about
Yes.
that scene.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
that was very Friday 13th esque, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
That,
I
that's the best one of it. That would definitely set you on the right track for the whole movie.
Yeah, no, that when I saw that, I was just like, what? But I also, it was funny to me because watching the movie, you're following the characters and stuff. And obviously, as we've been talking about Anne, and when she got her situation happening, I was just like, oh man, because they really spent time on that shot when she was getting sliced, through the neck. And I was just like, oh man, that was pretty gory. I was like, wow, man. But that probably was one of the ones that kind of stood out for me. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty creepy. So Kill, I'll throw it back to you. Now we've got these three movies. Obviously, Catriona was in all three of these movies. What did you think of her character in this movie versus City of the Living Dead and The Beyond?
Well, for one, this woman can't catch a break.
Right.
she just has really bad luck, bad taste in men. They'll drag you to creepy houses near cemeteries.
Right.
They won't believe what you're saying. I don't know. But no, I mean, in this particular one, she seemed like a really loving mother. Creepy Bob, and
oh jeez.
and it seemed like she didn't really want to be there because there was a few times she even said, well, maybe we should stay in New York.
Right.
Yeah. And the husband's like, no, if I'm going to be in this creepy house, you're going to be in this creepy house. It's just like, all right, in for a penny, in for a pound. But yeah, I liked her character. And, in comparison to the other ones, it was kind of, just she was just as likable in those as well.
Yeah. I agree with that. What do you think, Coriander?
Yeah, I think out of all of the movies, I do like her character in this one. But she should have listened to Bob. I mean, these kids can, sense danger and,
right.
they know when shit's going down. And and I mean, when you got a friggin' tomb in your house too, it's like, come on, right then and there, I would be like, I'm out of here. Right. I got some dead body in my basement or wherever the hell it is. No fucking way.
Yes. How about you, Gore? I know you're such a big Catriona fan. What did you think about her character in this movie versus the other two?
Oh, she's always great. And she actually got to display her scream a couple of really good times in this one.
Yes.
And in City of the Living Dead, she actually dies, and then when she's coming back to life, the guy that's going to save her is trying to chop her through the casket. And in The Beyond, that's very confusing. I think she just confuses everybody else.
They're screwed.
Yeah. And then in this one, the very first time that she's in a house all alone by herself, she doesn't hear just little haunting noises. She hears slams, she hears knocks, she hears pounds, and there she is standing inside the house screaming when I just ran the hell out of there. The whole time I was going, hell no.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I pretty much what you guys have said. I enjoyed her in this. She was very good in all three of these movies. You can definitely tell why, she was chosen to be an actress in all three of these movies. She was very convincing, and like you guys are saying, she was very motherly, and those were some nice touching scenes in the movie as well. Real quick in the chat before we move on here, Neon Black had a good point. He was talking about Sketty, who wrote all of these, said in an interview on one of his discs that he doesn't think horror movies need a plot. That clears up a lot of the WTF questions about these films for me.
These movies are visual movies, all of these are.
Yes, absolutely. Patrick says everything pales after Christopher George loses his brains in Gates of Hell.
Yes. That was disappointing.
I know. I was like, no.
John, but can I say? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, City of the Living Dead had like the happiest ending for her character out of all three movies, because these other two, this one she gets killed, and the other one, like you said, she's in one of these gateways to hell. So she's screwed. And in City, they're in the cemetery. Yeah, she screams, but you don't know why, and you see the kid running happily towards her. So for me, that one for her was like the best ending out of all of these movies.
I hear you. John was saying definitely a trilogy to own. And Drake was saying, yeah, in this one, she even has a creepy kid to top it off and an even creepier babysitter.
I don't know why you guys think Bob is so creepy. I thought he was this cute little kid with these big blue eyes. Well, I get it, but
voiceover.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Kill, let's get to the ending. Obviously, we've kind of danced around it a little bit, but what did you think how this ending matched up to the other two?
It was, and this is something we keep saying, the word straightforward. It was pretty straightforward. You're in the basement from hell, and I'm gonna rip his throat out, and then I'm gonna drag you both down here, and I'm gonna kill you kind of off screen. Because you don't really, unless my memory is not serving me, you don't really see how she dies. You just kind of see her, that close up of her chin hitting each stair, or in a way, as she's being dragged down, and getting the good old palm face from Melty McGee. And then you just see her body, and then he's just so gingerly like, okay, let me just step over your body. I don't want to step on you. I just murdered you, but let me just step over you. Hey, Bob, I'm coming to get you now. So it was just very straightforward until Bob gets to go be with his new ghost family,
right?
And I mean, once again, the ending, either you're going to like it or you're going to hate it. I liked it. I was able to understand it for the most part. And How
about you, Coriander? How this ending line up as far as in the trilogy for you?
I thought the ending was pretty damn good. I liked also how like Bob and May, they have like this, if I can say, a shining connection. Because they can communicate with each other with like thoughts, and they understand each other, and it's pretty cool that these kids have like I said, they're very clairvoyant and listen to kids, and and
Absolutely.
It's just like Bob, if you think about it, the way this movie ends, it's almost like the way it ends in the Beyond for Liza and John.
Absolutely.
He ends up going into this realm with these dead people. So it's not good if you ask me.
Yeah. How about you, Gore? What did you think of the ending versus the other two?
This is my favorite movie and my favorite ending.
Okay. Cool.
Catriona actually shows that she does get killed in this one. In my opinion, it seems like it. And then May saves Bob from Daddy. Mary, the wife, pops out and says, "Here, let's just join up." And you, like you said, join the ghost family. I don't know what happens to Dr. Poitstein at that point, but I don't know. Maybe I guess he's just destined to stay in the basement and kill people that move in the house. And then whoever's left and they keep and bring with them. So I think it's pretty. It did pretty harmoniously.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's definitely an interesting ending, but it was kind of cool. How Bob.
Very cool.
Was all set. I felt bad for Catriona, but what are you going to do? It is a horror movie, but it had a little bit of a creepy vibe to it, like you were saying too, Coriander. Kind of like with the Beyond. So I thought it was a satisfying ending. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite of the three. I'd have to think about that a little bit, but I did like the ending. Real quick, Drake was saying it's brilliant filmmaking, and the cinematography was uncanny. I agree. The cinematography was very, very good.
Nice
we've got Phil in the chat saying, "Hey there, what's going on, Phil?
Hey,
what's going on?
What's up, Phil?
How you doing, man?" Let's see. Phil says, "House by the Cemetery, my second favorite Fulci movie."
Nice.
and I know what your favorite is. Very cool. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about, just in general, since this was a trilogy that we wanted to kind of do all together. I mean, we're definitely going to talk about the trilogy in general. But before we do that, Gore, I just figured I'd turn it over to you for a minute or so, because obviously you have some great collectibles from the trilogy if you wanted to share those.
Well, I do have some DVDs and some Blu-rays that I've collected over the years. I don't have all the DVDs anymore because I just decided a year or two ago that I would double, triple, quadruple dip and all that stuff. But here's what I have from each movie. Start with the Gates of Hell. This is Arrow's Steelbook. If you can see that, can you see that?
Yeah. Very cool.
Nice.
This is Steelbook. This is the Code Red version of Gates of Hell.
Oh, wow.
I'm still looking to get a hold of the Scorpion one. I've almost got a hold of it. Give me a couple days, I'll let you know.
Nice.
That right there. And this is the old out of print Arrow window slipcover. These were loaded. These were out of print for years, but I love these. I wish they still made them like this. Here's my editions of the Beyond. Start with the old DVD. It was also known as Seven Doors of Death.
That's right.
Here is the Steelbook. I love this Steelbook. Beautiful Steelbook from Arrow.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Oh, can you put that a little bit closer? That is awesome artwork. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Wow.
That's
That's
cool.
very cool. Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And then here's the Arrow window slipcover of it.
Nice.
Fine. Sealed, both of those are. And here we go with House by the Cemetery. Here is the sealed House by the
Nice.
Cemetery. There's the spine, and there's the back of that. And then the 4K of House by the Cemetery.
I love that
Nice.
artwork.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, you just always have cool stuff, man. That's just the bottom line. But just out of curiosity, because we do have a couple people, like Patrick was talking about in the in chat, saying that he should get the trilogy. Do you have any recommendations on how one would go to get either like the 4Ks or the blues or any type of places to point people to?
Just check everywhere. People put eBay down a lot, but if you're patient and you're smart and you don't let the scalpers get you, eBay can be a good place. There's also Amazon. You want to be careful with Amazon because of steel books, because they're not real careful with them and they will beat them up. And of course, that's like that with anybody. Steel books I like to actually buy when I'm in person. You've also got the Walmart's here and there. Facebook Messenger, or the shop on Facebook's a really good place, and all Instagram, and make friends. As a matter of fact, my good friend John Steele is hooking me up with free screen factories, including a steelbook for a really good price. Make friends and check every place out. Don't buy it. Don't buy the first place you find unless it's a great deal. Keep looking. Be patient, and you'll get what you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good advice, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So the last thing I wanted to do, just touching upon just an overview of the trilogy in general, any particular thoughts, any particular moments, if we were to talk about favorites versus another. I'll start with you, Kill, and then back to Coriander, and then to Gore. Any particular thoughts of this trilogy, what it means, especially for you, Kill, being the first time that you've watched all of these movies?
I can appreciate a movie where the ending is bleak.
Yes.
Far too many times we either have a final girl or a final family or the hero wins. But for the most part in these movies, depending on how you look at the first film, evil wins. You know, and it's kind of interesting.
Right.
And I truly liked it. I probably would say this one was my favorite.
House by the Cemetery.
Yeah, just because I love a good creepy haunted house story,
Yeah.
But yeah. Hey, it's all good.
Yeah. How about you, Coriander?
All three of these movies are really, really good. I mean, they're all different in their own ways, and they, like I said, these are all visual, stylistic movies that are just awesome. Yeah. And I don't know. I think probably for me, I think probably The Beyond, I think is like out of the three is my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, how about you, Gore?
Like I said, this is my favorite. When I first seen Fulci was from my oldest brother. He had a VHS of Zombie, and I had never seen it. And I still remember specifically seeing that splinter through the eye. And Zombie.
Yeah.
Zombie. Steelbook Zombie. I had to show those off. Sorry about that. But that was my favorite for a long time. I seen this trilogy, and I just love all of them. I think all of these really. They have Fulci written all over them. These, New York Ripper, Don't Torture a Duckling. If you watch Fulci, don't forget that from 1972. Don't Torture a Duckling. But these, I think this really exemplifies Fulci. It's really, if you watch these, you can just feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. For me, all three of these movies, I mean, this is the first time I actually had a chance to kind of go through all three movies in a row and, paying special attention to them, to talk about them. And all three of these movies, to me, what was interesting was they all were different, but yet very similar. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how it felt to me. They all had a different type of thing going on with them, but all Fulci. And I really I really appreciated it, and the fact that all three of them had this weird otherworldly thing going on. I really enjoyed that too. I mean, it's some of the most imaginative stuff that I've really seen in horror. And when we talked about The Beyond last week, that ending, like you were saying, Coriander, that ending was just like, what? Are you serious? And so I really appreciate movies that can make you react like that. So I really have enjoyed all three of these movies, and I enjoy each of them for a different reason. City of the Living Dead, I really loved the idea. It almost felt like, I think Killian, you said it when we talked about it. It was almost like a little bit of we're on a mission, a road trip to figure this thing out, to find this place, the City of the Living Dead, and all the things that are going on. The Beyond.
Close the damn door.
Right. The Beyond just had this weird, surreal, otherworldly vibe going on, a lot of great gore. And then this movie was a little bit more pared down in focus, and it's that haunted house type of story. And you got these kids, they're clairvoyant. And so each movie had some great things that I loved. I loved all three of these movies so much. I really did.
Yeah. And the fact that it was set in New England. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Gore.
Well, no, I was saying the bottom line of it is you want entertainment. And with these three, you definitely get that. Sorry, go on ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, Corey.
No, I was just saying, the fact that it's in New England, and I'm a New England girl too, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Very, very cool stuff.
That's all.
Let's see. Patrick says evil wins 90% of the time. Yes.
Except when you have true love, real true love. That fucking shit conquers anything.
Yeah. We got Modern Day in the chat. What's going on, man? Saying, what's up, y'all? Haven't seen this one, but I love The Beyond. Never looked at spiders the same after that. I hear you, man. Not many people will
those
look at
things were
spiders
ripping
the
off
same way.
chunks, man.
Watch
Pulling out
Deadly
eyeballs.
Blessing. Watch Deadly Blessings for a spider, too.
Yes, that's a good point. Very good point. But yeah, this movie, it had a lot of creepy moments. It had, personally speaking, too, at the end, man, when she was trying to get out of there, I was just like, come on, you can do it. Get through. But very cool visuals. That was the thing in this movie that I really appreciated, too. Some really cool visuals in it. Like I said, man, if you're a Gore fan, if you're a horror fan, obviously, if you're an Italian horror fan, you've got to see these movies. This is a must watch. All three of these movies, this trilogy is truly a must watch. And at some point, and I'll probably have to let you know when I do, Gore, at some point, I got to get these for myself on Blu-ray, because I'm just like, man, this is just so cool.
You don't have them?
I don't have them on Blu-ray. Well, actually, I have The Beyond, but I want to get an updated.
What edition do you have?
I don't even know. It's Dang, I don't even know. I got it a few years ago.
If you need any help with it, just let me know, and I'll definitely help you out and hook you up.
Cool, absolutely. But I mean, these are just fantastic films, man, and I really enjoyed going through them. And I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about each one of them. So, anyways,
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. But yeah, for you guys in the chat, definitely let us know what you think of House by the Cemetery. Any particular moments, parts of the story that you liked or were confused by, because there was a lot of confusing parts of the story, but that's par for the course for this whole trilogy. Par for the course. But let us know in the comment section. Please give the video a like. And also, I just want to say, again, thanks to Gore for joining us. This was really fun to do this.
Yeah.
And, to get you on here, and just always fun to hear you talk about movies as well. It's very, very fun. Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, as we head on out, Drake says, I'm happy these movies get some love. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And Patrick saying July 25th, IFC Knight's Return. That's right, Patrick. We will be talking IFC and not A24. And I know you're going to be happy about that, but it will be a lot of fun with Patrick and also my man Ben from Cadaver Club. Neon Black says the trilogy is pretty much the definition of Italian horror. I agree.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no doubt about that, man. Absolutely no doubt. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you guys next time. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Touch.